forth his fantasy. He used to believe in something would happen. Mills for liberty. Gnostic sex cult, building his own world. A Gnostic sex cult, unhinged from reality, totally lost in what can we do? The mocking relentlessly. It's not a Gnostic sex cult, James. No, it's not. Stop lying to your audience. No, it's not. It's not Gnostic, James. Grip Mary Nardini tells us clear liberation means the annihilation of capitalism. Catch up, James. Whiteness means capitalism. Queer theory hates capitalism. Whiteness means capitalism. Queer theory hates capitalism. Whiteness means capitalism. It's all about capitalism. Everyone knows it's capitalism. The socialists know it's capitalism. Wake up, James. It's capitalism. Whoa. The socialists know it's capitalism. Wake up, James. It's capitalism. It's all about capitalism. Everyone knows it's capitalism. The socialists know it's capitalism. Wake up, James. It's capitalism. It's capitalism. To pocket all that money from the mills for liberty. The left hates capitalism, but James won't admit it. He refuses to believe queer theory stabilizes normativity. Gender binary and the nuclear family. But James blocks the truth, smears people who try to show him, creates an echo chamber for himself to reinforce his fantasy. Is to believe in something. What happens for liberty? Gnostic sex cult, building his own world. The Gnostic sex cult, unhinged from reality. He's totally lost it. What can we do but mock him relentlessly? Clever lie. These are the four goals of the woke. In actions, words they evoke. From pushing it away to monsters' dreams. In the dance of power, the scheme and steam. In every move, search and
Good evening, fellow Gnostic sex cultists. I hope you're having a wonderful night. Here we are. Back again, Jimmy Dore. Jesus Christ. Can't just have a night to myself. Gotta go live 3 times because I had a stream in the middle of. If I hadn't had the nothing remotely controversial stream tonight, I probably would have just powered through and done the Jimmy Dore stream earlier. But I had some overnight oats. Like, my dinner tonight was overnight oats. It was my first overnight oats experience, and I have to say, I did the chocolate chip cookie dough overnight oats, and it was actually pretty delightful. And even Victor liked the chocolate chip cookie dough overnight oats. And so I had my overnight oats snack, which is apparently, like, so people make fun of me for my weight, but the truth is I don't actually eat that much. I don't know why I don't. Well, no, I know why I don't lose weight, because I sit at my desk working all the time, and in order for me to lose weight, I need to go to the gym. I need to lift weights. Like, I know that. I know how all this shit works. Like, I have the muscles of elite athletes. I used to be a marathoner. I know exactly what I need to do to lose weight. But the fact is, I work too much, and I have chronic injuries because I'm old. And so it's like people make fun of, like Groypers especially make fun of me for my weight. They're like, you eat 7 dozen donuts a day. I'm like, I fucking wish I ate several dozen donuts a day. Like, I'm lucky to have one meal on a good day. So now I'm starting to get into this new thing where I'm like, what if I just buy things like overnight oats, which literally just involves me pouring milk into a thing and then pouring oats into the milk and then putting it in my refrigerator. And then when I'm ready to eat, there'll be a meal available. I don't have to cook anything. I don't have to make anything. I don't have to order anything from DoorDash. Like, it'll just be there and it'll be great. And this is what I used to do when I was really in shape and I was like, do it like working out all the time, is I would just have my protein shakes, I have my ready-made meals, and I had all this stuff all lined up. I know how to do this, okay? Sometimes we just get out of habit. Anyway, I had to go get some food. I'm back. We're going to do more streaming. Now, I do want to say before we get into our main show for tonight, this is a good point. I bet not to be confused, this is a different Jimmy. We're doing Jimmy Dore tonight. But I bet you James Lindsay thinks we're giving him a break because we haven't talked about him in a while. He's probably relaxing and he thinks that we aren't coming back. He thinks that we've capitulated to his soft acknowledgement that I'm right and he knows I'm right and everyone knows I'm right and we all know that he knows that I'm right. He thinks that we've capitulated. No, Jimmy. No. We're gonna get. Don't you worry, James. We're gonna get back to you, okay? There's been Nick Rekieta stuff going on that has usurped anything that James Lindsay is doing on the internet. And if we're honest about it, really, Lisa Logan needs to release another video for us to react to. That's really what I'm waiting for. Is I need Lisa Logan to release her latest round of the Gnostic Sex Cult video. Kilty Coachman says, I am the asshole that you referred to earlier in the stream because of Jimmy Dore. I was the one that was impatient, not Jimmy Dore, yet you attacked him for my impatience. Let's see what you do here. Well, Jimmy Dore was being a little uppity. Jimmy Dore was being a little uppity for my taste. Jimmy Dore kind of seemed, and listen, Kilty Coachman, what I will say is I do appreciate you taking responsibility for being impatient, because I did a stream earlier where I had Jimmy Dore on the docket to do, and then I just didn't get to it because I had to yell at Dave Smith a lot for being a shill, and I had to yell at, who else did I yell at? Clint Russell for being a shill, and I had to yell at Josie, the redheaded MAGA grifter, for being a shill, and Trendlin, fuck you, Trendlin. I talked about this earlier, Trendlin. I don't want any grief, okay? Trendlin, what were your thoughts? How do you feel about it? Trendlin, in case people don't know, Trendlin is on the executive committee of the Libertarian Party of California. She's a very important person, a VIP. I talked about you earlier and how you asked Karen Ann Harlos why she blocked me, and Karen Ann Harlos lied and said I blocked her when I absolutely did not block her. She blocked me, and you were my spy to get Karen Ann to trap Karen Ann Harlos in her own web of lies. There's a rumor going. Okay. Here's what we need to do. If Nick Rekieta starts streaming, someone needs to tell me immediately. All right? Like, we will drop everything. Someone needs to keep an eye on Nick Rekieta. And if he's streaming, I want to see like alarms going off in the chat. I want to see like, we will switch over to a Nick Rekieta stream immediately. But for right now, we're going to do this. Now, earlier, Tim Pool. Oh, God. I mean, the biggest victim of my stream earlier was Tim Pool, who is just, well, Tim Pool is a socialist. He is a socialist. Timmy really did make it very, very clear that he was a socialist in the stream I did earlier today, in which Timmy was calling for the dictatorship of the proletariat in terms of workplaces, because Timmy thought that the employees of the workplace should be able to dictate to the owner of the workplace what to do. And I was like, Tim, that sounds a little socialist to me. So Timmy, socialist confirmed, and I just think it's really clear. Tim has no fucking clue what he is talking about when it comes to libertarian philosophy. Now, I'm not going to say I know everything about libertarian philosophy. I don't know everything. I'm still kind of like, I wouldn't say. Oh yeah. Oh God. Fucking Trendelin at the convention apparently talked to Tim Pool and asked Tim to have me on his show. Trendelin, I would say that ship has probably sailed. I don't think that's going to happen. Because I do think it was pretty clear in the last video that we watched that Tim Pool has no fucking clue. I'm sorry. There may have been a time when Tim was smart, and maybe it was just my lack of knowledge that made Tim smart, but Tim is not. No, Tim has no fucking. No. I don't even want to. I already had to yell. I yelled about it for about an hour and a half earlier. Dorcas. I don't know how to say your name. I yelled about how much Tim Pool didn't know for about an hour and a half earlier. I can't. Just go watch the previous stream. I'm gonna make a clip. It'll be fine. Yup. Tim Pool is a socialist, grifting AF. Dave Clint, redheaded MAGA grifter. All of them. None of them know what they're talking about. Carl and I have bad news. This might be the straw that breaks the camel's back. I know. I don't want to talk about this right now. Apparently, Chase Oliver is pro pineapple on pizza. Although he did say, to his credit, that he was taking a combination of jerk chicken and pineapple, which I have to say, jerk chicken is actually delicious, and I've never actually thought about having jerk chicken on a pizza, and I think that that's a really good idea. But pineapple, no. But that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, Chase Oliver better not fucking like mayonnaise either. I'll tell you that. Hey, can someone send a link to the YouTube stream to the Chase Oliver fan club on Twitter? They were asking for it. I would appreciate if someone could do that. So I yelled at Tim for about an hour and a half earlier. If you want to watch that last stream, you can go ahead and watch it. I am going to make a clip of that. It'll be fine. But what I didn't get to was Jimmy Dore. And I have to say, I had to watch about 3 seconds of this video in order to make tonight's thumbnail. And I already know that Jimmy Dore doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Like, just based on a 3-second clip alone, which is all that I saw of this video, Jimmy Dore doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. And listen, man, I've actually never had anything against Jimmy Dore. I've only listened to him a couple of times. He always, to me, seemed much funnier than Dave Smith. And so, you know, he seemed to be a little bit better of a comedian than failed comedian Dave Smith. But like, I've never really listened to him other than, you know, people would say they like Jimmy Dore, and every once in a while I would tune in for a clip, whatever. But I never had beef with him. I never said anything against him. And then apparently, like right before I went live for my stream earlier, I had tweeted. So someone said to me, and Jimmy has receipts, and it'll be Jimmy's receipts are damning. Now, here's the thing. Well, actually, let me explain after I read the rest of this interaction. And I said, things cut out of context are not receipts. Seems we don't align. And this was to this person, because this person, and I don't want to talk about it. Anyway, what I said was Jimmy Dore only has things cut out of context. Now, to my surprise, right before I went on the stream, Jimmy Dore himself actually responded to me and said, I'm sincerely interested in finding out what context you think I cut out. If you provide that, I will gladly share it and correct my mistake on my show tomorrow. Thank you. I was kind of like, okay, all right. And then I said, sure, I'll watch your video on my show today and be extremely specific. We'll see what you do with it. And I didn't think there was going to be any more interaction than that. I thought there was going to be no more interaction. I really did. I had the video and the docket to watch, and I was like, you know, maybe Jimmy Dore does something with this. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know. But then Jimmy Dore started tweeting about me. And I knew Jimmy Dore was tweeting about me because on my stream, I had people coming into the chat saying, Carlin, Jimmy Dore is tweeting about you and he's destroying you on Twitter. And I was like, I need to tone it down a little bit. Hang on. Why am I yelling? I already killed my voice earlier with the other stream. I don't need to yell. Can we just take it down? I was like, what the fuck? Like, Jimmy, I told you that I was going to watch the video. But here's the thing. Jimmy Dore is getting all indignant about this. He's like, that's revealing that you would make an accusation about the video I put out without actually watching it first. Jimmy, I don't have to watch it to know what you did, but we'll get to that. Kind of wrecks any credibility you think you have on the subject. Wow. Didn't expect you to just admit you made an accusation with absolutely no idea what you were talking about. But that's exactly what you just did. Good luck going forward with your credibility! And I have to say, Jimmy, here's the thing, bro. I don't have to watch your video to know what you did, bro. I literally don't have to watch it. Do you want to know why? Because all of you content creators that always wanted to be content creators and you have these shows and you do all this stuff, you all do exactly the same thing, Jimmy. Now, Jimmy, I understand that you probably mostly interact with retards on the internet, bro. I get it. There are a lot of stupid people on the internet. There really are. But I actually have a PhD, which doesn't make me smart necessarily. A lot of dumb people have PhDs. But the thing I have a PhD in is psychology, and the specialty I have within psychology is industrial organizational psychology. And what that means is, Jimmy, I know how to identify patterns of behavior that show up in like settings like this to where it makes it very easy for me to predict exactly what you guys are going to do and exactly what you guys are going to say, which is why I'm so good at predicting shit that you guys have no idea about 6 months, a year, 2 years out. And then this is why all my predictions are right, Jimmy. I know you probably have no clue who I am because we've never met before and I'm a little measly little content creator on the internet and you're the great Jimmy Dore. I understand that, right? But like, I am actually really good at predicting shit. People can back me up on this. I'm so good at predicting shit that we have a rule that every time I'm right about something, everyone owes me a $2 super chat. He's friends with Jackson Hinkle. Well, that explains a lot, doesn't it? That explains a lot. So, Jimmy, here's the thing, bro. I'm going to watch your video and I'm going to absolutely eviscerate you. And I didn't even need to watch your video to know exactly what you were going to say, because what people like you do is you have producers that scour Twitter for whatever's viral at any given time, and you do no additional research, and you just take whatever clips are viral on Twitter at any given time and whatever topics people are talking about on Twitter and they're getting a lot of shares, and you guys just take those. So you're all reporting on the same thing essentially, because all your news always comes from the clickbait bullshit that goes viral on Twitter. And let's just be clear, nothing really goes viral on Twitter unless it's clickbait bullshit. And you guys don't fucking tell me what to do. Didn't you learn your lesson the first time? Don't fucking tell me what to do. I will get to it when I'm good and ready. What people like Jimmy Dore do, even if he doesn't have producers, all he does is he takes clickbait bullshit on Twitter and he combines that into a show. And so I feel very, 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 very confident that what we're going to find in this video is not too dissimilar to what we found in the Tim Pool video, is not too dissimilar from anything that was going viral on Twitter about Chase Oliver the last few days. It's the same shit over and over and over again. And because none of these retards, did I just invent a new word? None of these retards actually bother to do research on anything or look below surface level, you guys say exactly the same things. So Jimmy, I guess what? I'll promise you this. If I'm wrong, I'll own it, bro. If I'm wrong, I'll own it. Well, see, I'm not actually going to have to provide receipts. You want to know why? Because I promise you, and I already know this. How do I know this already? Oh, shit, I didn't mean to do that. How about we just go to this? How do I know this? Members of my audience watched the Jimmy Dore video while I was reviewing the Tim Pool video. And it turns out that without even looking at the Jimmy Dore video, I was right. Because Daniel took one for the team, and Daniel went and watched the Jimmy Dore video, and he said, yup, Jimmy Dore is just repeating the same smears from Tim Pool, Dave Smith, Wall Street Silver, and the redheaded MAGA grifter. Anti-woke and drag queen story time, no actual facts. So the thing is, I'm basically going to be doing a rehash of the debunking that I literally already did to Tim Pool earlier today, because Jimmy Dore is not going to bring anything new to the equation that I hadn't already seen, which I already know because this is very predictable. But of course, Jimmy Dore continued to have a little hissy fit on Twitter. And when I tweeted at him and I said, I'm literally about to do it live on the internet, you whiny little bitch. I don't work on your schedule. I'll get to it when I'm good and ready. You can tune in or not, or you can keep whining on Twitter. Jimmy Dore said, you already made a false accusation about the content of my video without watching the video, and you got caught. Jimmy Dore seems to believe that he has trapped me in some secret espionage. I don't know who you are, duh. But everyone knows you're a bad faith person and a public liar who doubles down when they get caught and called out for lying. All right, Jimmy. All right. Well, here is the thing, Jimmy. Here's the thing. We're gonna, yeah, I got caught. Guys, I got like, Bro, if you honestly think that Jimmy Dore just destroyed me on Twitter, you probably don't have an IQ high enough to be on this channel. I'm just gonna be honest. I appreciate you coming back, but you're probably, I don't know. Kenneth says, Carlin, you were right, and you knew you were right before watching the video. You knew because you'd already looked into Chase Oliver. Jimmy Dore hasn't. He was wrong. See, that's the thing, Jimmy. That's the thing. Because I really hope, if Jimmy Dore doesn't actually watch this after the public hissy fit that he had on Twitter over it, that would just be that. If Jimmy Dore doesn't actually watch this and contend with the things that I'm going to explain to him in this video, that would just be all the proof we need that Jimmy Dore doesn't give a flying fuck what the truth is, if we're honest about it. Which would be sad. I've always heard good things about Jimmy Dore, but he seems to think that everyone should kiss his ass on the internet, and I just don't think that that's the truth. And he seems to think he's caught me in some trap when, I don't know. I think it was pretty obvious what he was going to do. And if anything, we caught him, to be honest. Well, we're going to get to that, bro, because we're going to watch the video. But I'm just saying that other people have already watched the video, and other people having already watched the video confirmed that I'm right with every single thing that I said, which just kind of like, I'm sorry, Jimmy, you might feel embarrassed that you were so easy for someone like me to predict on the internet. That might be, Jimmy Dore probably thinks he's the most original person ever, and that he doesn't do exactly the same thing as all the other content grifters on the internet do. Jimmy Dore is 100% original. And the thing of it is I've already done, this is my third stream about Chase Oliver. And I've been following Chase Oliver for 2 years. And actually, maybe that's a good place to start. Actually, let's start there for people who might not know me or why I'm commenting about this. Let me give you a little bit of background. I joined the Libertarian Party in 2021. I was involved with the Mises Caucus. I was involved with the Libertarian Party of New Hampshire. I was a delegate at the 2022 convention in Reno, where the Reno reset took place, where the Mises Caucus took over the Libertarian Party. I was thrilled to be involved in that. And then in the intervening 2 years, the Mises Caucus in New Hampshire completely just disbanded, essentially, because the Mises Caucus fucked over a lot of people in New Hampshire. So basically, there is no Mises Caucus in New Hampshire. The Libertarian Party of New Hampshire also basically is nothing more than a Twitter account. The Libertarian Party of New Hampshire actually used to do stuff like in real life and stuff. And now the Libertarian Party of New Hampshire does nothing in real life. It's just a Twitter account. So I basically stopped being involved in all this libertarian bullshit. I was really involved for 2 straight years. Like, I mean, every day of my life involved in libertarian politics for 2 years. And then I kind of stopped and I stepped back about a year and a half ago because, all right, see, now you're getting a timeout because there are rules on my channel, bro. Number 1, don't be a dick. You will not insult me. You will not insult other people in the chat. I can do whatever I want because this is my house. Number 2, no whining. Right now, you're being a dick and you're whining. And so right now, you're going to get put in a timeout. So we're going to take away your ability to chat at all. And if you come back and you keep whining and you keep complaining, we're just going to ban you. And then you're not going to get to chatting at all. Thank you, Angel Eyes, for being a member of the channel for 12 months. I really do appreciate it. So this is what I want people to understand is I have been deeply involved in libertarian politics. I know all the players involved. I've been following Chase Oliver for 2 years. Chase Oliver and I are not necessarily on the same team. Chase Oliver and I do not actually agree on some things. That's okay. I am also located in the libertarian homeland of New Hampshire, which means I was very blessed to learn about libertarian philosophy from some of the most amazing liberty activists in the world. And I want to do a special shout out. I did this on the stream earlier, but I want to do it again. I want to do a special shout out to Dennis Pratt. Dennis Pratt is a wonderful libertarian activist who really, in some respects, mentored me, and he taught me an awful lot about libertarian philosophy and what it means to be a libertarian. And so when I hear like content creators on the internet pretend to talk about what it means to be a libertarian, it honestly it's almost infuriating because I've gotten to learn from liberty activists that live it, breathe it every single day, what this philosophy is and why it's beautiful. I also have, I'm friends with a guy named Justin O'Donnell. Justin O'Donnell knows everything. He's a bit of an asshole, he is, but I adore him because he knows everything. He's a wealth of information, and there's so many wonderful libertarians in New Hampshire that I've been able to interact with that have taught me about this philosophy. And watching the Tim Pool video earlier, Tim Pool could do with hanging out with Dave Smith and Clint Russell a lot less, and he should really have a conversation with Dennis Pratt. Ironically, Jeremy Kaufman also taught me a lot about libertarian philosophy too. Honest to God, I learned, even though Jeremy Kaufman's an asshole, and he absolutely is, and we're not friends anymore, but like there was a time when I was in groups with Jeremy quite a bit, and I learned a lot from that guy. And so it's funny because sometimes I have people like slide into my DMs and they're like, Jeremy is such an asshole. And I'm like, well, yeah, but he's also actually a really smart person that's actually not like a bad guy if you know him in person. He is an asshole though, but I can't just paint someone as all an asshole. Like, I actually learned a lot from him. So I'm telling this because I'm not just coming in off the street. I didn't just join the Libertarian Party yesterday. I know it was only 3.5 years ago, but when I joined the Libertarian Party, I basically got put into libertarian fucking boot camp in New Hampshire. I got put into boot camp of learning everything I could about the inner workings of the Libertarian Party because I was involved in the Reno Reset and everything leading up to it. And it was like a crash course, like mega seminar in everything you want to know ever about how all this stuff works. And so I've picked up a lot. And I wish that Tim Pool and Jimmy Dore and people like him would sit down with someone like Dennis Pratt and have him explain to them what libertarian philosophy is and all the things that they don't understand. Which I'm sure Dennis would actually do, but I doubt that they would ever do, probably because they think they know everything. So that is the perspective that I'm bringing to this. And that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. And I don't think that I need to keep like, listen, Chase Oliver was not my pick for presidential nominee. Even though I don't like the Mises Caucus and I think Michael Heiss is an asshole, I supported Michael Rechtenwald. I like Michael Rechtenwald. Michael Rechtenwald is a good person. I'm sorry if you heard me say this on the other stream, but I feel like I have to reiterate it just for people who are new. I was in Michael Rechtenwald's corner. Michael Rechtenwald has been on my channel. I consider Michael Rechtenwald to be a friend. Really smart guy. Michael Rechtenwald ran an amazing campaign. He worked so hard. My heart broke for Michael Rechtenwald when he lost that nomination because Michael Rechtenwald has given up so much in order to get that nomination. So Chase Oliver was not my first choice. However, I have been following Chase Oliver since he caused the runoff in the Georgia Senate election in 2022, because I was really impressed with that and I thought he did a great job. And he's someone that gets out there, he's boots on the ground. Chase Oliver has traveled to all 50 states. He was campaigning relentlessly for 2 years. He has a staff of 50 volunteers that are helping him do this campaign. He really has it together. He's got a donor base, all that stuff. The campaign that Chase Oliver ran was impressive. I do not agree with all of Chase Oliver's positions. There are some positions that Chase Oliver takes that I vehemently disagree with. However, the idea that Chase Oliver is a communist, a Marxist, a secret leftist is one of the stupidest things I've ever heard in my life. And I say that, and I'll give a little background again for people who might not know me. I have spent the last 3 years on my channel watching more far left training and far left activism than anyone else in the world. I have a massive archive of far left training, far left activism from the real activists who are active in the world today, the ones pushing all the crazy ideas, critical race theory, gender ideology, queer Marxism, abolish the family, abolish the police, the college protests, everything. I have a massive archive of this shit. My audience watches over a dozen hours a week of far left training because we study them, we analyze them, we dissect their language, we infiltrate their online events, we broadcast them on the internet, the private stuff that you don't see on YouTube. I go undercover at their in-person events. I know the far left. I know the far left inside and out. It is like, and there is no one that knows it better than me. And I will put my knowledge against anyone because I have watched more of this bullshit than anyone else in the world. And so the idea that Chase Oliver is a communist, Chase Oliver is a far leftist, is one of the most retarded things I have ever heard in my life. And what's going on right now is there is a smear campaign going on against Chase Oliver. And I really take issue with smear campaigns. I've been the target of a smear campaign. Actually, the redheaded MAGA grifter was sharing a smear campaign about me earlier because for some reason, Josie, the redheaded MAGA grifter, who really only offers boobs and red hair on the internet, and that's the only basis of her appeal is tits, red hair. Josie, the redheaded MAGA grifter, is not at all happy that I'm calling her Josie, the redheaded MAGA grifter. And so she started sharing a smear campaign that's been around for about 2 years about me on the internet that I've debunked countless times that no one even cares about. But do you know how you can always identify the grifters? They're the first ones to share the smear campaigns. Every single time. They don't care about the truth. They don't care about reality. They don't care about doing anything but hurting anyone that's questioning them. And you are now getting banned, bro. Congratulations. You just got banned from the channel. I told you to stop telling me what to do. I'm a libertarian, motherfucker. You don't tell me what to do. So, I am particularly sensitive when I see someone as the target of a smear campaign. And right now, Chase Oliver is the target of a smear campaign that is being led by Dave Smith, Clint Russell, Michael Heiss, Josie, the redheaded MAGA grifter, and they're using people like Tim Pool and Jimmy Dore in order to do it. I don't have to agree with Chase Oliver on everything to call bullshit, 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 bullshit. Do you believe weed as well as Molly, shrooms, DMT, ayahuasca, opium should all be legal? Bro, yes, obviously. Dude, I've done DMT, I've done ayahuasca, I've done Molly, I've done shrooms. I've done everything but opium. I've never done opium. I don't think I ever would do opium. But yeah, I've done all that shit. 100% everything. 100% of drugs should be legalized. What you put in your body is your business. It's no one else's business. As long as you're not forcing anyone else to take drugs, I don't give a flying fuck. Do whatever you want. So, I'm going to watch this video from Jimmy Dore. And when Jimmy gets to parts of this video where he is overtly wrong, taking things out of context, or doesn't understand what libertarianism actually is, I am going to correct him in whatever manner I see fit. And now let's get this party started, guys. We are watching Jimmy Dore. Libertarians choose woke presidential candidate. By the way, Chase Oliver wants to abolish the Department of Education. Chase Oliver wants to abolish all taxpayer-funded education. He wants to take the money that's already been collected for taxpayer-funded education and return it to the taxpayers. Guess what, guys? If you want to abolish all public education, you are not woke. Do you know how I know? Because woke authoritarians use the public schools as their primary force of indoctrination. There is no way that you can have someone that says, I want to abolish all public education, and someone who is woke in the same place at the same time. That's not how this works. So on that basis alone, if anyone had actually bothered to read Chase Oliver's platform, like I did, anyone had actually bothered to do the basic bit of logical thinking without taking clickbait bullshit off of Twitter, like I did, they would have come to that conclusion. Sadly, Jimmy Dore just didn't take the time to do that. And thus we have the title, Libertarians Choose Woke Presidential Candidate. Okay, that's my first fact check for you, Jimmy. Let's continue.
And full disclosure, never heard of them.
Yeah.
Never heard of him. And
So Jimmy Dore already thinks that he knows more about a person that he has never heard of than I do when I heard of Chase Oliver 2 years ago. Okay, I'm sure this is going to go well for you, Jimmy.
I'm prejudiced against people whose first names are verbs.
Yeah, me too.
Now, maybe
with
that's
you.
because my first name is Jimmy and I'm projecting.
You're trying to, let me Jimmy my way into this conversation and say that.
Hang on. Super chat from Naruto. Hang on. Was just browsing through past streams. Carlin, can we bring back the MSNBC reaction streams? Why do you hate me? Why do you want to make me watch MSNBC? I watch socialism all the time, bro. Why? What? We'll see. We'll see.
So do you want to see this sounds like a joke that they nominate. Why? Because he looks like a regular libertarian there, right?
All libertarians in my lifetime, they all seemed somewhat normal, but then they had one weird ass thing. So one guy turned blue one year famously. Remember the one
I
guy
remember
turned
that
blue?
guy. I remember that guy.
Then the one guy didn't know where something was on a map or something. Like
Oh yeah, he couldn't fit Aleppo.
Yeah.
Gary Johnson didn't ever heard of Aleppo as we're bombing Aleppo.
Yeah.
So, well, here's this guy. Here he is. This is their guy. This is their guy. Libertarian.
So apparently, Jimmy Dore. Actually, let's get his hand out over Chase Oliver's face.
Libertarians nominated.
There we go. Why would this be evidence that this guy is not a libertarian? Wall Street Silv, who, by the way, conservative grifter. We've got Wall Street Silv as Jimmy Dore's first piece of evidence. So his first piece of evidence comes from a conservative grifter that has a vested interest in electing Donald Trump. Libertarians nominated Chase Oliver, who supports mask and vax mandates, open borders, and letting men compete in sports with women. All these are libertarian positions? None of that's true. None of that's true at all. And again, I talked about this all on the stream with Tim Pool, but let's just get that. Well, actually, the open borders thing is true, but I'm going to explain why. We'll give it too long, didn't read, and then we'll see what Jimmy Dore has to say about this. Number one, Chase Oliver does not support vaccine mandates. That is a conservative smear campaign bullshit. And if Jimmy Dore had bothered to do the basic bit of research, he would have found that out. Chase Oliver supports private business owners doing what they want. If those private business owners want vaccine mandates, Chase Oliver thinks they should be allowed to do that. If that private business owner doesn't want vaccine mandates, Chase Oliver thinks they should be able to do that too. Chase Oliver does not support intervention from the government to tell private businesses what to do and what not to do. That's what they mean when they say vaccine mandates. They say because Chase Oliver believes businesses should be able to do whatever they want to do, that's a vaccine mandate. What Jimmy Dore and Wall Street Silv and all these other fucking conservative MAGA grifters don't seem to understand is that if it doesn't come from the government, then it's not a fucking mandate, you fucking retards. In regards to open borders, we'll get to that in a little bit because Jimmy Dore seems very confused about why any libertarian would support open borders. The fact of the matter is this, and this is one of the positions I don't agree with Chase Oliver on, about 50% of libertarians do actually agree with open borders because they believe that people should be able to move freely. They believe that this is intervention by the state. Most libertarians don't want the government to exist. I believe in borders because I believe that borders make private property possible, but this is a very valid philosophical debate that happens in libertarian communities, and some people fall on one side of the debate and some people fall on the other side of the debate, and that's just the way it goes. But it is actually for a significant number of libertarians a position that they do believe in this, and I would like to use persuasion and discussion to try to move them in a different direction. But Trendlin, who again is on the executive committee of the Libertarian Party of California, says she even thinks it's more than 50% of libertarians who believe in open borders. So that's just a thing. Again, I don't personally agree with it, so I'm not defending it. I'm not saying I'm not going to advocate for it. I'm just explaining that that is actually a debate within the libertarian community. In regards to letting men compete in women's sports, Chase Oliver doesn't want to do that. What Chase Oliver said is he didn't believe there should be government intervention, and he's a libertarian motherfucker. Not only does Chase Oliver not believe the public schools should exist, so the discussion would get wiped out entirely, he certainly doesn't believe in government intervention one way or the other. So that's actually what that means. Let's continue.
Chase Oliver, who supports masks and vax mandates, the opposite. Why would you be a libertarian then?
Because he doesn't support mask or vaccine mandates. He made the personal decision to wear a mask in 2020 when a lot of people were wearing masks. You cannot say that someone is not a libertarian because they made a personal decision for themselves to wear a mask while not advocating for government intervention to force everyone else to wear masks. And again, Jimmy, it kind of seems like you were the one that didn't do the basic bit of research, bro, because you're the one advertising that you think that Chase Oliver supports vaccine mandates, when in fact, he doesn't. He supports letting private businesses do what they want. Oh, wait, guys. Did Jimmy Dore just get caught? I mean, we've still got another 20 minutes of this video. Did we just catch Jimmy Dore? Jimmy, did you get caught, bro? Did you get caught not knowing what the fuck you were talking about, bro? And it's kind of like I knew you were going to say this because you're no different than any of these other content grifters and you do no fucking research on your own. Oh my God, Jimmy Dore got caught. Oh wow, $2 for me.
Well, it helps the open borders if you have mask and vax mandates.
He's also for open borders. Why are you a libertarian then?
Well,
because over 50% of libertarians are open borders, you raging fucking retard.
Because they like free trade.
Oh, is that it?
Yes.
And then he's for letting men compete in women's sports.
Good luck for your credibility,
Are those
Jimmy.
They are. Okay, the guy...
He doesn't believe in public education, Jimmy. He would wipe the whole thing out, and he doesn't believe in government intervention. Good luck with that credibility. Jimmy, we're a minute and a half into this video, and we've already fact-checked you on like 3 different fucking things. Good luck, Jimmy. Good luck. Good luck with your credibility, bro. Jimmy doesn't do his own research, ironically, given his stand-up comedy routine, which he encourages people to do that. I am shocked. Shocked, I say, at this revelation that Jimmy Dore is saying exactly and precisely what I thought Jimmy Dore was going to say.
From Reason Magazine that wears a leather jacket and has that haircut with the black hair.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do know.
I saw him on Bill Maher years ago. Now, this is pre-vax when it was all about GMOs. Okay, GMOs in the foods. And they were, remember, they were, and Bill Maher rightly was like, well, why can't they put on the label that it's a GMO on the food? Remember, they had a law.
Yeah.
And the guy from Reason Magazine, the leather jacket libertarian guy, he goes, because people don't buy them. I remember watching at home.
So
and
good.
I go, what? So it's not libertarian for me to decide what I want to buy.
Right. I'm supposed
for
to
the
be
company. So there's a whole strain of that. They probably got infiltrated that long. I tried to explain this to Dave. He got very emotional because Dave is straight up. Dave is not a phony. And so I hope he's learned how.
If they're talking about Dave Smith actually is a phony because Dave Smith tricked, I mean, how many people, how many millions of dollars has Dave Smith grifted over the course of years saying, I'm going to bring 100,000 new people into the Libertarian Party and I'm the Libertarian standard bearer, telling everyone he was going to run for president, making everyone think he was going to do it, then decides to drop out so he can buy his wife a fucking dream home. And then just basically Dave Smith has now said, I'm not even voting for the Libertarian candidate for president. Fuck you guys. I'm voting for Trump. Yeah, Dave Smith is real straight up. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, sure. I don't know if that's who they're talking about, but if that's who they're talking about, nah.
The system works now.
We're going to find out. But of course, this guy figured out how to game the libertarian system. Not only is he for...
He didn't game... What are you talking about, game the libertarian system? Chase Oliver figured out how to game the libertarian system? Yeah, Chase Oliver gamed the libertarian system by running an extremely successful Senate campaign in Georgia where he caused a runoff between two of the candidates. He then gamed the system further by spending 2 years traveling all over the country to all 50 states, visiting all the different state conventions, meeting people all over the place, going to county fairs, going to town halls, doing all this stuff, traveled more than any other libertarian candidate, raised more money than any other libertarian candidate, showed up at the convention with enough supporters and enough political alliances built where he got the nomination. He did the work, bro. It's not gaming the system to show up every single day, campaigning every single day for 2 years. Going, like, spending nights, weekends away from his home, away from his family, away from his loved ones to be able to go out and do this. Jimmy Dore's never undertaken an endeavor like this, but no, Chase Oliver gamed the system. Please. The only thing talk show personalities like Jimmy Dore should host are tapeworms. I mean, I wouldn't wish that on anyone, Rottweiler. That's not very nice. Come on. We don't have to do that. Yes, according to expert libertarian analyst Jimmy Dore, campaigning for a political position is gaming the system.
Open borders. He's for vax mandates, mask
not
mandates.
For vax. Again,
I know.
This is like the third time that Jimmy Dore has wrongfully said that Chase Oliver is for mask mandates and vax mandates. Jimmy, do you have any actual receipts on this? Or are you just gonna be like, bro, he's for vax mandates? Wall Street Civ, who's a conservative grifter, swears he's for he must be for vax mandates, bro. Where are your receipts, Jimmy? Oh, wait, caught. There goes your credibility, asshole.
He's also, should people under the age of 18 years old be able to receive gender transition?
This particular receipt that Jimmy Dore, actually, let me just show this. Let me actually get the link. This particular tweet that Jimmy Dore is showing on screen right now was community noted on Twitter. Oh, Dennis messaged me a very nice message. I'm not going to say what it is. I love you, Dennis. Thank you. Let me see. Donnie sent me the link earlier to the Tim Pool fact check. Hang on. Let me get this up so we can just see. We can just see that Jimmy Dore is using receipts that have already been community noted on Twitter, bro. Make sure this is the right thing. Here it is. Hey, Jimmy, you think I needed to prepare to debunk your video, bro? I can do this shit in real time. I didn't even need to have this set up. This is Tim Pool retweeting the same thing that Jimmy Dore just showed on his screen. And it's of this tweet. Look at, should people under the age, this is the same thing Jimmy Dore's showing on his screen. And this has a Twitter community note. None of these screenshots are of Chase Oliver's stances, but are from a website which any user can edit. Many of the screenshots go against things he has said. Here are his actual stances. This certainly to me. So here is what we have on Jimmy Dore's screen. Right here. Jimmy Dore didn't think I was going to be able to fact check his ass because I didn't bother to look at his video before I said I was going to fact check his ass. Oh my God, that bitch doesn't know what she's talking about. All right. Okay, Jimmy. Let's see how predictable you are. Here is what's on Jimmy Dore's screen right now. Here is the tweet that Tim Pool sent out that got community noted with the context from readers. None of the screenshots are of Chase Oliver's stances, but are from a website which any user can edit. Many of the screenshots go against things he has said. Here are his actual stances. What did Jimmy Dore say to me? What did he say? Kind of wrecks any credibility you think you have on the subject. What did he say to me when I said, what did he say? He said, you've already made false accusations about the content and you just got caught. Jimmy, I didn't even need to watch your video to know that you were taking clickbait bullshit from Twitter out of context and presenting it as though it was true. And I just literally, without even knowing you were going to show this, but suspecting it might come up because all of you operate in the same way and do no research on your own, I caught you red-handed showing something that had already been community noted on Twitter. Jimmy, bro. You just got caught. Just caught ya. Let's see how your credibility does now, bro. Just got caught. And if anyone wants to send in a $2 Carlin is right super chat, because I wish I hadn't banned that guy that told me. In fact, can I unban that guy that told me I didn't have receipts? Can I go back and unban him? Because maybe we can see if he will make good. I can. Kilted Coachman, if you're still here, I'm unbanning you because I'm expecting you to come back and pay up with a $2 super chat because your boy Jimmy Dore just got caught. Oh, wait, Jimmy Dore just tweeted about me? Hang on. Stand by. Where did he just tweet about me? Kenneth said that Jimmy Dore just tweeted about me. I try not to reward liars and bad-faced actors with attention on my show for lying or making bad-faced arguments. So this will probably be all the attention I give her. We literally just caught Jimmy Dore in a fact check, bitch! I wonder if Jimmy was watching my stream as I was literally calling him on the carpet for a fact check. Thank you, Dub. Thank you. Where's that tweet? I don't see it. I just see him complaining about me. Is it in his replies or something? Let's see. Jimmy Dore, 500,000 followers. Come on, Jimmy. Let's see. Oh, wait. Here he is. Oh my God. Jimmy, I try not to reward bad faith actors with attention on my show for lying. So this is probably all the attention I will give her and her lies. Can everyone please tweet at Jimmy Dore and tell him I literally just fact-checked his ass live on the internet? And we caught him right in the fucking act. Hey, Jimmy. Hang on. Hang on. I'll share my screen. Hang on. I gotta share my other screen because I have to do it in my other Twitter account. That's my sock account where I can see people who have blocked me and stuff. Let's see. Hey, Jimmy. Let's see. Hang on. Oh, shit. Now my computer is going to decide to take its sweet ass time. Come on. Hey, Jimmy Dore. Oh, it's going to take forever to type this. God damn it. Catch up, computer. Come on. Oh, what the fuck? Why? Why is it spinning? What? No. Go back. There it goes. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Hey, Jimmy Dore. I literally just fact-checked you. Come on, type. Live for using evidence that had already been community noted on X in your clip. Gotta let it catch up. My computer's slow. I'm writing a lot of stuff right now. Please bear with me. We're going to fact check more of Jimmy's. We are only like 3 minutes into this video. We're not even 3 minutes into this video when we already caught him in a lie. Come on, type. Come on, computer. Don't do this to me. That had already been community noted in your X clip. Or on X in your clip. Looks like you just got caught. We'll see what that does. Hang on. I think I made a typo. Gotta wait for it to catch up, though. My computer's slow as shit when I'm streaming. To your credibility. Should I say anything else? What else should I say? Is that good? Is that good? Everyone go and reply to Jimmy Dore to my tweet. I'm Dr. Carlin B on Twitter. Everyone go and reply to him. I'll post the link in the chat. Hang on. I'll post the link so you guys can have it direct. Go and don't reply to my... Well, I guess you can reply to my tweet, but go reply to Jimmy Dore's tweet. Actually, that's just a screenshot. Oh, shit. No, I was tweeting the stream. Okay. Never mind. Go reply to my tweet. Go retweet that. Retweet it. Quote tweet it. Tag Jimmy Dore and tell him we're 3 minutes into your video, Jimmy, and we literally just found that you used evidence that had already been community noted on Twitter. Everyone go tag Jimmy, let him know. Not going to find out any other way because according to Jimmy Dore, he does not reward liars and bad faith actors, even though he, in this particular case, is the one that's actually lying. Don't give that any attention. Don't worry about it. All right. I think we've actually already gotten our golden nugget, but we've got another 20 minutes of this video to go. So let's keep going.
Treatments? Yes. He's for that. But only for non-surgical treatments, such as puberty blockers and hormone therapy. Oh, well, as long as it's harmless hormones that haven't been properly tested for safety, then I guess that's good.
They're not good. They're cutting them up with chemicals.
This is kind of...
Let chemicals chop your tits off.
So this guy, Robert Barnes.
Yeah.
So I just want it to be noted that there was no, like, maybe, you know, I was really hoping that maybe Jimmy Dore had actually seen that that piece of evidence had already been community noted on Twitter, and maybe he would come back and say, you know, this is an example of when we should actually look into things before just assuming they're true and then talking about them on the internet to millions of people. Because if I were Jimmy Dore, I would say that it would probably be really fucking irresponsible to just assume that anything going viral on Twitter is true. And if I was Jimmy Dore, I would probably want to use my platform responsibly to make sure that I wasn't spreading bullshit. But maybe Jimmy Dore and I just have different values. He's a comedian after all, and he's definitely funnier than Dave Smith is, but he is still just a comedian, and maybe he just doesn't feel any obligation to his audience to tell the truth. Maybe he doesn't feel any obligation to do research beyond what's ever going viral on Twitter. I don't know. If you guys want this for your type of creator, a lot of people do. I mean, clickbait content really sells on the internet. That's why I'll never be rich and famous on the internet. I refuse to do clickbait content. We usually only resort to primary source video evidence for my normal stuff. But maybe Jimmy just has different values and he thinks that everything that goes viral on Twitter is true.
Tweets out a reminder how useless the Libertarian Party is choosing. The Libertarian Party choosing a pro-employer vaccine mandate, open borders, corporate whore candidate for the presidency.
So Chase Oliver supports the right of private business owners to do what they want, and that makes him a pro-employer vaccine mandate. So again, I mean, I know Jimmy Dore's a socialist, and so, like, it's kind of like with Tim Pool, right? Does Jimmy Dore not support the right of private business owners to do what they want with their private property, or does Jimmy Dore also support, like, a dictatorship of the proletariat like Tim Pool does? But either way, Jimmy, that's not a libertarian principle. The libertarian principle is a private business is private property, and it is the owner's discretion what to do with their private property. The government is not responsible for telling a private business owner what to do with their private business. If the private business owner wants a fucking vaccine mandate, they should be able to have that. Now, I personally wouldn't work for any private business that had a vaccine mandate. I think that bullshit is stupid. But they are a business owner and they're allowed to do what they want. Now, I gave this example earlier on my earlier stream, but just in case people don't go back and watch that, libertarians do not believe that businesses, private businesses, should be regulated by the government. That includes vaccine mandates. That includes telling businesses they can't have a vaccine mandate. Libertarians also do not believe in the Civil Rights Act. So in theory, libertarians believe that a private business owner, okay, well, whatever. I mean, listen, I don't generally parasite off of people who don't care about what the truth is and put information out there to millions of people without bothering to fact check it. I mean, that seems like a horrible person to parasite off of. Like people that only put out information that goes viral on Twitter and don't bother to fact check it, like those people are going to have really fucking low IQ audiences. I don't want a low IQ audience. I literally have a rule on my channel that you're not allowed to be in my audience if you have an IQ of less than 100. I mean, maybe low IQ audiences accept everything that people on Twitter say is the truth, but that's just low IQ content, man. Why would I want to parasite off of that? Anyway, libertarians do not believe in any government intervention for business. So in theory, libertarians believe that if a private business owner wants to put out an ad saying, I only hire white people, they should be allowed to do that. If a private business owner puts out an ad saying, I only want to hire men, they should be allowed to do that. If a private business owner puts out an ad saying, I only want to hire black people, I only want to hire Asian people, I only want to hire women, I only want to hire comedians that do political commentary where they don't bother to fact check on the internet, private business owners are allowed to do all those things. Just because you're allowed to do something doesn't mean you should, but that's actually what libertarians believe. A private business is private fucking property, and they should be able to do with that business whatever they want without government intervention. That is a libertarian position, and that's actually what Chase Oliver's position is.
Yeah.
The party remains a waste of space as it was throughout 2020 when its leaders embraced lockdown politics.
Robert Barnes is real smart. That guy does a lot of like indigenous people law. So you wouldn't believe the stuff the government does to these natives that he knows all about. Like he's a real deal, that guy.
It sounds like another Bernie movement. Now there's no point to be for Bernie because he's for all the things he was against. And libertarian now just means somebody who eats your liberties. That's what it sounds like.
I'm
Libertarian is someone that eats your liberties. That's expert analysis right there, Jimmy. Thank you. I definitely didn't know to fact check you, bro. I definitely didn't know that you were going to just spew bullshit in this video, obviously.
a libertarian.
Kind of like a vegetarian.
I'm a freedom eater.
I'm a freedom
I need to
eater.
get a cough drop.
Well, here's Dave Smith. He tweeted this out. He says, "Congratulations."
As a reminder, I already fact-checked Dave Smith's ass in the earlier video. So if anyone wants to know what I have to say about Dave Smith, which is essentially that he is a grifter that made millions of dollars trying to convince people that he was going to be the libertarian standard bearer, and now he's endorsing a presidential candidate from another party, either implicitly or explicitly, which means he doesn't give a flying fuck about the Libertarian Party. But anyway, I talked about that earlier. Not going to do that again.
Race for Liberty had to hurt. It had to sting. He wasn't my preferred candidate. Boy, I'll say that. But he ran a great campaign. Really? He put it together and won. He won.
Jimmy. Yes. Chase Oliver ran a fucking amazing campaign where Chase Oliver was out there working every day for 2 years in 50 states across this country, raising more money than any other candidate, having a larger volunteer. Michael Rechtenwald had 4 people working for him. Chase Oliver had over 50 people working for him. So yes, Jimmy, I don't have to agree with Chase Oliver on everything to say that Chase Oliver ran a fucking awesome campaign.
I appreciate that he is unapologetically anti-war. Okay, well, that's good, I guess. There's one thing.
So he's being polite.
So Dave's being a big man. That's what's called being a good loser.
Well, except when Dave came out today and said he's not going to vote for Chase Oliver, which means he's implicitly endorsing Trump, which means Dave Smith should get the fuck out of the Libertarian Party and never come back and never pretend to be the standard bearer of the Libertarian Party again. Dave Smith had every chance to run for president. He chose to not do that because he wanted to do more comedy dates to buy his wife a dream home. Anyone that's actually watching this knows that Dave Smith is not being a good loser. Dave Smith is being a sore fucking loser because he's pissed off that he couldn't control the Libertarian presidential candidate for the next several months.
Well, Dave didn't run, but his candidate of choice lost. Appreciate that. He is unapologetically anti-war, and I hope he leads with that in the presidential campaign. I bet he doesn't.
Chase Oliver literally made a speech at the Libertarian National Convention. Sorry, I'm chewing a cough drop. When he accepted the nomination, hang on. I'm trying to make it so I can actually talk for the rest of the stream. I apologize. Okay. Chase Oliver, literally in his acceptance speech, wait, is something going on with Nick? What's going on? What's going on with Nick? I've been busy today. I haven't been following Nick news. So let me know. Jimmy woke up and chose Retardia today. I'm taking a screenshot of that, MacB. So, if Jimmy Dore had bothered to watch Chase Oliver's acceptance speech at the Libertarian National Convention, Jimmy Dore would know that Chase Oliver was actually pretty fucking specific that he was leaning strongly into anti-war messaging, and that was going to be one of the primary things that he was going to be talking about in his campaign. Sadly, Jimmy Dore couldn't be bothered to do, again, the basic... Jimmy, the speech is on the internet, bro. It's on YouTube. Like, all you need to do is go to the Libertarian Party homepage and watch day 3 of the convention and you're going to be able to see his speech, bro. Again, it's like, I don't know why these influencers don't bother to do the bare bit of research to access primary source information when they have followers in the millions. He's lying to millions of people just because he was too fucking lazy to go watch a video. We're less than 5 minutes into this video. Let's keep going.
Best of luck spreading that message.
Hormones it is.
I have a feeling it's going to be what so it's this person's, the redhead says he's pro-transing kids and open borders.
The
What does-
redheaded MAGA grifter Josie is lying. Yes, Chase Oliver is gay. That is actually true. The redheaded MAGA grifter is lying about the transing kids. Again, Chase Oliver doesn't actually think that public schools should exist. He has never made any statements in which he's pro-transing kids. What I think he might get at is Chase Oliver is 100% in favor of bodily autonomy for everyone. And I suspect, though I haven't heard him say this, but I'm going to posit that Chase Oliver is in favor of parental rights for everyone. And so if you have a parent that wants to allow their child to get puberty blockers, I've actually heard, no. I take that back. I have explicitly heard Chase Oliver say he is not in favor of trans surgery for children. He does believe that if parents want to put their kids on puberty blockers, they should be allowed to do that. Now, that's an issue I don't necessarily agree with Chase on, if I'm honest about it. Although, I guess from a libertarian perspective, that would be... Actually, no, I take that back. From a libertarian perspective, that is actually the correct position, because from a libertarian perspective, if a parent wants to put their child on puberty blockers, really, it should be the parent's choice. But, I mean, I could have a philosophical disagreement on Chase with that. But to say that he's pro-transing children, the redheaded MAGA grifter Josie is lying, because Josie is not a libertarian. Josie doesn't understand libertarian philosophy. Josie is boobs and red hair. That's all Josie has to offer on the internet. She doesn't understand basic libertarian philosophy. She doesn't understand that more than 50% of libertarians are actually open borders. Again, not something I personally agree with, but to take the redheaded MAGA grifter at her word, because boobs, red hair. I know, Jimmy, better men than you have been fooled by the boobs. I get it. She has boobs. She's got she want much lower cut shirts than I do. You know, I get it. But just because Josie shows off her tits and poses in pinup calendars and has red hair and pretends to be a libertarian does not actually mean that Josie understands libertarian culture or libertarian philosophy. Yeah. Straight men love boobs. True.
Disaster for everything the Mrs. Caucus has worked
Mises,
towards.
yeah.
Is
Wait.
that Mises? Is that how you
Yeah.
say it?
Wait.
Yeah.
The Mrs. Caucus? The Mises Caucus? Jimmy Dore doesn't even know how to pronounce the Mises Caucus, and Jimmy Dore thinks he knows more about this than I do when I was in the fucking Mises Caucus. When I was part of the Mises Caucus takeover of the Libertarian Party, when I was a delegate at the last fucking convention, when I had to do all this Mises Caucus stuff for like 2 years leading up to the Reno convention. Or a year and a half. I overstated. Year and a half. The Mrs. Caucus? The Mises Caucus? Guess what, Jimmy? You just got caught again.
We all knew that. Hey, welcome to the world of Bernie people, dude. Welcome to the world of the Bernie.
Wrong.
That's now you know how I felt with Bernie.
Yeah.
So Bernie couldn't get it. Bernie was supposed to be for Medicare for everybody. Bernie was against corporate money in politics. What else are some of the other great things? Bernie was for free college. Bernie was for raising the minimum wage. Bernie was for doing infrastructure, for helping people in general.
Wait.
We're using the government.
Wait. Josie, the redheaded MAGA grifter, doesn't know how to pronounce bourgeoisie. Man. Listen, bro, the internet knows how to pick them. They're so distracted by the boobs that bro. Donnie the Misfit. Checks have been cut and sellouts are working. Ain't that the truth, Donnie? Ain't that the truth? Shout out Donnie the Misfit. Shout out Jeff Charles, two of the best liberty activists, most staunch liberty activists that you can find on Twitter. Follow them. Follow them. And I'll tell you this, the reason that Donnie the Misfit and Jeff Charles are supporting Chase Oliver is because Donnie the Misfit and Jeff Charles are actual real world activists that do things in the real fucking world. The people that are complaining about Chase Oliver, none of these people are real world activists. Josie, the redheaded MAGA grifter, is not a real world activist. Clint, the conservative who pretends, Clint Russell from the Liberty Lockdown podcast, who is a conservative that pretends to be a libertarian, is not a real world activist. Dave Smith is a fucking failed comedian that only gets people to pay him money to be a comedian because he whispers the sweet nothings in their ears that they love to hear. And so they open their wallets and they go to his show and they pretend he's funny when in fact, Robbie the Fire Bernstein is actually far funnier than Dave Smith by like a significant degree. Robbie is actually funny. Dave Smith, not funny. But people pretend he's funny because he says things that people like on the internet. And so they pretend they want to make him feel good, okay? But for some reason, none of these people know what the fuck they're talking about. I have no idea where that came from.
To help people instead of funneling that money to corporate wars.
Right.
And then as soon as he lost, he was like, no, you got to vote for all those things we're against.
Right. That's the trick. Look, I don't know.
That's the trick. You take all that progressive anti-war, all that revolutionary energy, and you funnel it right back into an anti-worker. Oh, he was also pro-union.
Yeah.
So you take that and you funnel it right back into an anti-worker, pro-war party.
Yeah, it's called black magic.
Regardless of your political affiliation, they have all been compromised.
You don't say, Jimmy.
Have people not figured this out yet?
That's why we're allowed to see them at all. They all passed the test. So here's a tweet from the guy who just won. He says, happy that kids with cancer and others can get the health care they need. This is from 2023. I'm disappointed that a legislature decided to limit therapies and care specifically for young people who may be trans or non-binary.
Chase Oliver does not believe in government intervention. Chase Oliver, in theory, any libertarian would actually be against government intervention. You guys know that, right? You guys understand that. Now, again, this is not a position I share with Chase Oliver. I'm not trying to defend his personal views on this, but what I can say is that it is absolutely a libertarian position to be against government intervention in private healthcare decisions.
Maybe. But how about to be definite when you put them chemicals in a kid?
How about kids don't know what they are? How about you wait till they're adults?
Well, then it'll be too late. They won't be like really hot.
That's right. Then they won't be hot. So
it's a right to be hot, Jimmy.
That is the right to be hot legislation. You want to be known as the groomer party? This person says, Jordan Schlackle. Cody Paris says, is there...
Oh, yeah. We should definitely be taking Cody Schlackle's opinion under advisement. Because Cody Schlackle probably thinks that gay is the same as groomer, and Chase Oliver is gay, and Republicans are really doing their best let's hate the gay roundtable over the fact that Chase Oliver wore a rainbow fucking t-shirt and posed with a drag queen. Maj Touré, who, by the way, Maj Touré is more like, Maj Touré gets angry when it comes to the stuff dealing with kids. So if Maj Touré says that the trans kids' rhetoric was misrepresented, Maj Touré is no fan of Chase Oliver. Chase Oliver was not Maj Touré's choice. If Maj Touré is saying that the trans kids' rhetoric was misrepresented, perhaps Jimmy Dore should check in with Maj Touré and get his opinion on. Jimmy Dore I'm just a nobody on the internet that Jimmy Dore has never heard of. And so it would be perfectly acceptable for Jimmy Dore not to take my word for it, even though we fact-checked him live on the internet. But I bet you Jimmy Dore does know who Maj Touré is. So, Jimmy, go talk to Maj.
there any doubt the takeover failed? It's dead now. So Dave Smith, what they were doing it, I thought they had taken over the party.
Yeah.
I guess they just missed getting their guy as the
Mhm.
nominee. This person says the crowd at the Libertarian Party took the advice you gave them and threw it out the window. Talking to Dave.
Mhm.
They had the chance to convince America there is another choice, but they acted like woke leftists.
What does that tell you, America memes? What do you learn from that? They're very, very good, astute observation. Now put it all together, buddy,
Yeah.
and tell me what you come up with.
Here's what Dave actually tweeted about this. We're going to have Dave on Wednesday. He couldn't make it.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Dave Smith, who is still pretending to be a libertarian, is going to go on Jimmy Dore's show, I guess today, because it's after midnight. And he's going to shill for Trump. I cannot wait. I cannot fucking wait to watch Dave Smith shill for Trump for the next several months. And wreck any, like, Dave, you should do it, bro. You should do a whole tour where you're doing nothing but shilling for Trump. We know that's where your heart is anyway, Dave. You've made that very, very clear that you no longer support the Libertarian Party. You're not going to you're not going to put on your fucking big boy pants and do what an adult would do because you're a sore loser who lost. You're going to go out and send all of your people back into the loving open arms of the Republican Party. I can't wait to see it, Dave. Because you know what? When Dave really gets out there and starts shilling for Trump, suddenly people are going to start realizing that Dave Smith isn't funny. And he will have absolutely destroyed his brand as the person that was going to revive the Libertarian Party to greatness, usher all these new people into the Libertarian Party. And now he's going to take them all back and they're all going to vote for Trump and all going to join the Republican Party because Dave Smith is lying about what Chase Oliver believes. And Chase Oliver is going to single-handedly destroy any credibility and any brand that he's been able to build, grifting off of this Libertarian Party fucking hero pipe dream that he's been selling for years. And then all of a sudden people are going to realize that he's not funny anymore. Be like, what the fuck is this shit? And then they're gonna start at like, was Dave Smith ever funny? Or was I just giving him money when I thought he was a libertarian? But he's not a libertarian, he's a Trump supporter now, and God, Trump supporters are so much less funny. Did not play. Hang on. Sorry.
Yeah.
Go.
He says the Libertarian Party Mises Caucus. Is that how you say it? I always said Mrs. Maybe I'm. He set out on a mission to bring the Ron Paul revolution into. I thought there was a Ron Paul party.
It was.
Now not this
Wait,
woke.
it wasn't?
Well, it's not anymore.
Don't tell me what to do, big tech. Okay? You don't tell libertarian women what to do.
Is he never the head of the Libertarian Party, like the thought leader of
I
the
always
party?
thought he was. But I guess not. To shed the party of goofiness, wokeness, and corruption. It's been an incredibly rewarding journey, and I've met some amazing people who will be lifelong friends. At the last convention in Reno, we swept every position with super majorities. So it's like the Ron Paul coalition swept. So how did they lose?
So what do you learn from this?
I'll tell you exactly how they lost. Because unlike Jimmy Dore, I was actually at the last convention and I was actually involved in the Mises Caucus, not the Mrs. Caucus, not the Mises Caucus, the Mises Caucus. I'll tell you exactly how they lost. After they took over everything, Michael Heiss got a big ass head and he thought that he was God incarnate and he started trying to control all libertarian parties all over the country. And when Michael Heiss started trying to control everything that was coming out of people's mouths, libertarians got pissed off at him. And wouldn't you know it, they said exactly what I said to Big Tech earlier, which is don't tell me what to do. And they started rebelling against Michael Heiss. And that created an internal war that ultimately in New Hampshire, which is where I live, led to the complete dissolution of the Mises Caucus entirely because Michael Heiss and Jeff Douglas were such assholes that they couldn't take the barest bit of criticism and couldn't get out of our fucking shit. And so they decided to destroy everything and burn it down. And that wasn't the only state that had a problem with them. At the same time, Michael Heiss was running around trying to do too many things at once, wasn't focused on anything, started doing this tour where no one really showed up to it, started doing this presidential thing with Michael Rechtenwald, really trying to get Dave Smith to run for president, which of course Dave Smith didn't do because he decided to buy his wife a dream home instead. And in the process of that, they pissed off a lot of people. At the same time, the LNC, which was entirely run by Mises Caucus people, kept spitting in the faces of people over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And guess what? A lot of those people that Michael Heiss and Jeff Douglas and the Mises Caucus and the LNC pissed off over the last 2 years, even people who had supported them, those people were still voting members of the Libertarian Party. Those people still showed up in Reno. And those people decided that Angela McArdle could stay, but that they were putting another VC in there. They put Mark Rutherford in, who was not the Mises Caucus candidate, and that they weren't excited about Michael Rechtenwald, and that they wanted someone else instead. It was the choice of the delegates. And the fact of the matter is that libertarian politics means you go and you talk to people face to face. It doesn't mean you do a podcast tour. Libertarians who are running for president do tours of the state conventions to go and talk to all of the delegates that are running at those state conventions, because it is the delegates that actually decide who wins. Chase Oliver went to all 50 fucking states. Clint Russell, who was running for vice president, went to one state. One. Michael Rechtenwald went to a bunch, I think. But Chase Oliver is the only person running that went to all 50 states, met delegates from all 50 states, talked to them about their concerns, played the political game. And so do you really wonder why Chase Oliver showed up in DC and ultimately got the most votes? He got the most votes because he fucking campaigned. Also, and listen, I haven't really been talking about this because I honestly don't want to shit on Michael Rechtenwald because I really like Michael Rechtenwald. Michael Rechtenwald had a little blunder after the Trump speech, and I'm not going to say what it is because, again, I don't feel the need. Like, I really like Michael Rechtenwald a lot. I don't want to dunk on him. Who hasn't taken an edible at the wrong time? It happens. Yeah, it happens. Okay, someone gives you a gummy, you take it without you. It happens. Fuck you, Trendlin. Michael Rechtenwald had a little blunder at the post-Trump speech press conference that really rubbed people the wrong way. Chase Oliver is exceptionally polished. Chase Oliver is exceptionally put together. Chase Oliver didn't have the same blunder, and that's just reality. And it's unfortunate, and I feel really bad about it. Again, I don't want to dwell on it, but that's what happened. That's why Michael Rechtenwald lost and Chase Oliver won.
This weekend, we retained control of the LNC while re-electing Angela McArdle, who is a phenomenal chair, and put on the best convention in the party's history.
It was a real skank fest.
Unfortunately, we lost the big one. And there's no getting around that. I can't ignore the elephant in the room here. This is all my fault. He's taking responsibility. When I was planning on running, there was tremendous enthusiasm and energy among.
If Dave Smith was actually taking responsibility, then Dave Smith would put on his big boy pants and say, Chase Oliver won. Chase Oliver is a very strong anti-war candidate. Chase Oliver wants to abolish the Department of Education. Chase Oliver wants to end qualified immunity. Chase Oliver wants to end the Fed. There are so many things that I agree with on Chase Oliver on. He won the contest fair and square. He wasn't my candidate, but he's the candidate that we have. And we need to go out and show people what it means to be a libertarian with the only anti-war candidate in the race. If Dave Smith was really being the bigger person and Dave Smith was really taking responsibility, then Dave Smith would have said that. But no. What Dave Smith said is, I'm not going to vote for him, which means that everyone thinks that Dave Smith is going to vote for Trump, which means that Dave Smith has implicitly endorsed the candidate of another party that is not the Libertarian Party, which means Dave Smith should ride off into the fucking MAGA sunset.
Amongst our ranks, when I pulled out for family-related reasons, it pulled the rug out from under our guys, and we weren't able to recover. It's ridiculous to put any blame on Mises' chair for this.
I mean, is Dave doing
Mises,
some?
people are saying.
It's Mises.
Oh, well, I'm saying
He
Mises.
still doesn't know how to
Okay.
pronounce it. It's
What?
really impressive.
It's Mises?
That's what they're telling me in the chat.
Ew.
Mises.
Most guys pull out for no family reason. You know what I'm talking about? Am I right? Come on.
You
Come
got
on.
it.
Expert analysis,
pulled
bro.
out for
family.
Expert. Just real,
He
real
says that
good.
he is incredibly decent, brilliant, and hardworking person who never compromises principles and continued to fight for the MC vision. I guess that's the caucus chair. Someone at Wreck the Regime was the best candidate, willing to step up and work tirelessly while making enormous personal sacrifices for the cause. He came within a hair of winning, but fell short. That's gotta sting. The blame is on me, not those guys. I deserve to take my lumps, and I can handle that, but please don't take this out on good people who busted their asses for you. It's my fault, and I'm sorry to let you down. Wow, that's a big stamp. That's a big guy to say that shit. He goes on. He says, yesterday I congratulated Chase in person and on here. Of course, I can't endorse or vote for him. Wow.
Wow, Dave. Wow. It kind of sounds like you're voting for Donald Trump, Dave, which kind of sounds like you just implicitly endorsed the candidate of another party, Dave, which means that you should never carry the libertarian flag ever again, you grifting motherfucker. I mean, this is basic to me. I'm sorry. Again, I was pulling for Rechtenwald. I wasn't even really involving myself in libertarian politics because of how ridiculous it had all gotten. But at the end of the day, you don't take your toys and go home if you want to be the bigger person and you want to be responsible and you actually want to grow the Libertarian Party. Whether Dave Smith likes this or not, Chase Oliver is actually the only candidate that has a plan to reach younger voters. Chase Oliver is the only candidate even talking about younger voters. Dave Smith wants to pretend that he wants to usher in all these new people to the Libertarian Party. Guess what, Dave? You might not like it, but Chase Oliver is doing what's required to usher more people into the Libertarian Party. He's actually doing the work. He's actually talking to the younger people. He has a whole plan to recruit younger people. Where the fuck are you? Shilling for Trump? Yeah, I mean, Donnie the Misfit says, if Rechtenwald was the best option, then why did Dave Smith need to speak for him during the endorsement? I mean, that's kind of just a libertarian thing. I don't fault Michael for that. I really don't. But when Chase Oliver was up there, Chase Oliver had a whole crowd of people behind him. They're all holding signs and doing their thing. When Rechtenwald was up there, he had 2 people on stage. Wasn't a good look.
Just as he wouldn't for me. He doesn't represent me and my camp or the things we stand for. That's what I wanted Bernie Sanders to say about Hillary Clinton and then Joe Biden.
Look,
That's what I wanted Tulsi to say.
in fairness to Chase, he's probably an MK Ultra bot.
I will always support Angela and the MC team. I get that's the Mises Caucus. Hopefully, we accomplish more
Fifth time's
amazing
the
things in
charm.
the future. I'm going to continue doing what I do, spreading our ideas to as large an audience as possible in the most compelling way I can. And then this guy says, this guy, David Feit, says, you know damn well that if you were the nominee, Chase would endorse you and vote for you.
I don't.
True. True. David is correct.
think that he would. I have to say, I agree with Dave Smith on that
Well,
one.
Dave,
Wait. We have two people that didn't even know who Chase Oliver was 2 days ago, claiming they know more about what Chase Oliver would do than someone who David Fite has probably known Chase Oliver for like a lot longer than I've known Chase Oliver. I don't really, I know we're not friends or anything. I've known who he is for like over 2 years. David Fite has been involved in the Libertarian Party a lot longer than I have. David Fite probably knows Chase Oliver better than all of these people combined. But no, we should take the word of some guy on the couch who's like, I just don't believe that rando on the internet when he knows nothing about the situation. Jimmy Dore doesn't even know how to pronounce the Mises Caucus. They're the experts, though, guys. Remember, they caught me. They caught me.
Dave says, I love you, David, but
By the way, I've been going for an hour and a half, and I'm only halfway through this video. We are only on minute 11 of this video. I'm losing my voice. I've been yelling all day. We'll see how the rest of this goes.
but this is a bananas claim. When my guys took over the LNC, the Libertarian National Committee, Chase went out of his way to say that they didn't represent him. If I were the nominee,
they
Chase
didn't.
and his supporters would make it their mission to ruin my life.
Yeah, of course they would.
Wait, hang on.
The fact
Hang on. You want to talk about ruining someone's life? You want to talk about making it a mission to ruin someone's life? Because Josie, the redheaded MAGA grifter, just a couple hours ago, posted a smear campaign about me that's been going around for 2 years about me supposedly dating a pedophile, even though he wasn't a fucking pedophile. He just pled guilty to something he didn't do. Because apparently Josie, the redheaded MAGA grifter, doesn't know that actually the federal government will railroad you and overcharge you with crimes to force you to plead guilty to something you didn't do. Otherwise, you spend the rest of your life in prison. Josie, the redheaded MAGA grifter, just tried to destroy my reputation, but a couple hours ago, because I called her Josie the redheaded MAGA grifter and called her out for being nothing more than boobs and red hair on the internet. Rules for thee, but not for me, apparently.
is that the delegates made a huge mistake. Look at the reaction already. I can't think of a dumber thing to do than nominate this guy, this Chase guy.
It's almost
You're a
as if it
socialist.
was to the point of being a deliberate sabotage, I would say.
It's as if the CIA somehow got involved and made sure, just like they did with the Green Party, to make sure the Green
Bro. The CIA got involved and forced Chase Oliver to campaign every day for 2 years in 50 states all over the country. Yeah, sure, Jimmy.
Green Party isn't going to grow past 5%. The same thing with the Libertarian Party.
Or
Trump
the
was
Writers
right.
Guild or SAG or
Or
every
it-
union on the
Yeah, it
planet.
was all a
It
CIA
gets infiltrated
conspiracy
with
theory.
as soon as you see that
Oh,
rainbow
right.
flag coming, you know some
Definitely.
bullshit's behind it.
Uh-huh.
And it sounds like because that's what this is. This is to make sure that the Libertarian Party doesn't grow and actually become a threat to the establishment, just like the Green Party has been infiltrated by the CIA and the FBI and the Democratic Party and the Clinton Foundation, Peter Dow, just to make sure that they don't grow and become an actual threat. So that's what this is. Look at the reaction
Yeah.
already. Chase
Yeah.
may not.
We have reached, according to Sam, Jimmy Dore has reached circle 300 of the land of Retardia. And, a zone previously only explored by the Quartering's DEI analysis. Will we manage to get to the 400th circle of Retardia before the end of this video? Everyone I know says the red-headed MAGA grifter Josie is a Fed. Well, I mean, that's funny, Donnie, because they were in here calling me a Fed earlier. And though I did have my FBI interview for January 6th, I mean, I had my FBI interview and then I got audited for January 6th, which was super fun. Do Feds normally get if I'm a Fed and I still got fucking audited over January 6th, I want a fucking refund. Where's my fucking handler? That sucked.
have advocated for lockdowns and mandates, but he totally bought into the propaganda, bragging about outdoor masking, social distancing, and masking at dinners. He's defended drag queen story hour.
He literally didn't defend drag queen story hour. What he said was that you shouldn't be prohibiting drag queen story hour from happening in a private place where everyone that goes to it is voluntary. Again, Jimmy, this is like a basic fact check, bro. You can watch the interview. We literally watched the video of Chase talking about this yesterday on my show, Jimmy. Chase Oliver's position is drag queen story hour should not be taxpayer funded, but as long as it's taking place in a private establishment and no one has to go, then he doesn't think it should be regulated by the federal government because he's a fucking libertarian, bro. If it takes place on private property or quite frankly public property, for that matter, I guess, as long as it's not taxpayer funded, if it takes place in a library, if it takes place in a private home, if no one has to bring their kids to it, if no taxpayer money is being spent on it, if everyone can just make the choice that they don't want to avail themselves of it. He also went to a drag queen story hour just to check it out because he had heard that all of these things were highly sexualized. And when he got there, it was just a man in a dress reading stories to kids. And listen, I don't like Drag Queen Story Hour. I don't like Drag Queen Story Hour because the goal of Drag Queen Story Hour is to abolish the gender binary because the socialists believe that capitalism created the gender binary, which put men in the workplace and women in the home. And one of the ways that they're trying to abolish capitalism is by abolishing the gender binary because not only does it strike back at the gender binary thing, which is also called the patriarchy, it also strikes at the nuclear family because if you abolish the gender binary, you're also going to abolish the nuclear family. And the socialists believe that the nuclear family is the literal means of reproduction of capitalism. I'm sure Jimmy Dore doesn't know any of this fucking shit, but this is what we watch all the time on my channel. Anyway, I bring this up because the goal of Drag Queen Story Hour is to teach kids that gender is a performance, just like changing your clothes. That is the whole point of it. It is not sexualized. I don't agree with it, though. I don't think it should be happening. I don't think people should bring their kids to it. But the solution is, from a libertarian perspective, you don't ban something that's happening privately that no one has to go to. You just make it socially unacceptable so no one does. Yes, the redheaded MAGA grifter is so witty that that her response to intellectual arguments is stop being gay and retarded. I also saw that she was having a discussion with a friend of mine, DL Cummings. DL Cummings is one of just the most chill fucking libertarians you're ever gonna meet. He's an awesome guy. He has a podcast on the internet. Go follow him on Twitter, all that stuff. DL Cummings was trying to have an intellectual conversation with Josie, the redheaded MAGA grifter. And Josie's response was, "You're only 5 feet tall, bro." So when I say that Josie, the redheaded MAGA grifter, is only tits and red hair, what I literally mean is Josie, the redheaded MAGA grifter, is only tits and red hair. Anyway.
You mean Sunday school? I tease the Catholics.
Drag show again. We've talked about drag shows. Come to my live show if you'd like to hear me.
They're for adults.
No,
They're
I
for
don't
adults,
think I
they're not for
will.
Howard
children.
Stern drive time, dad going to
No.
work, and now suddenly
Yeah.
Howard Stern would never have anything like that. Your kids have to look at it.
He's defended Drag Queen Story Hour, which is just regular
Literally
old
false.
perverts. That's all that is.
Hey, what if you read
Jimmy Dore's expert analysis of Drag Queen Story Hour is that they're just old perverts. Jimmy, did you even bother to watch the video? Because I was assured that I wasn't going to be able to fact check this at all. It doesn't really seem like you did, though.
to your own goddamn kids? You ever think of that?
Chemically castrating children and
My mom did.
supports open borders.
Yeah. Well, the libertarians were supporting the open border things quite a lot.
And
Yup.
I'm supportive of drag queens. I'm supportive of trans. I'm saying when you add toddlers to it, that's when a lot of people have problems with it. And
Well, guess what, Jimmy? No one has to bring their kids. Oh, this is a beautiful freeze frame. Hang on. I need to take this is the freeze frame that I'm going to use in my thumbnail when I clip this shit up. Perfect. Jimmy, see, here's the thing. Parental rights only mean something if you allow them for all parents, not just parents who agree with you. And I'm reasonably sure that Chase Oliver's position is going to be on this. If you don't want your kids to go to Drag Queen Story Hour, don't take your kids to Drag Queen Story Hour. However, libertarians believe in this crazy thing called liberty, and there may be some parents out there that also have parental rights that also want to be able to bring their kids to a Drag Queen Story Hour and patronize that type of event. And I'm positing, I don't know this for sure, that Chase Oliver's position on this is going to be that the federal fucking government shouldn't be regulating what parents can do with their kids when there's nothing sexual going on and the kids aren't hurt and everything's fine and the parents are right there and they can take the kids and leave if they want to as well. That's what I'm betting is happening. Chase Oliver is not promoting Drag Queen Story Hour. Just because he took a photo with a drag queen one time doesn't actually mean he's promoting Drag Queen Story Hour. He's just saying it shouldn't be regulated by the government.
Really
Story.
so.
What is the drag queen bringing to the equation of reading?
Exactly.
Nothing.
What
Exactly. If you don't want your kids to see an R-rated movie, don't go to an R-rated movie. My parents started letting me watch R-rated movies when I was 8 years old. That might explain a few things to some people, but I've legitimately been watching horror movies since I was 8 years old. They're like my favorite. I fucking love horror movies. I love found footage horror movies. They're the best. The more gory, the more torture porn, like the fucking better. Because I started watching this shit early and it scarred me for life. And maybe that wasn't the best decision my parents ever made to have me. I suppose they could have had me watch worse things, but parents are allowed to screw up their kids. If you want to let your kids watch R-rated movies, so they watch nothing but found footage torture porn movies for like the rest of their life, that's just the way it goes. If you bring your kids to Drag Queen Story Hour and then they turn out to be a non-binary person, that's just the way it goes, man. Rottweiler, I apologize. I missed your super chat. I'm sorry. Furthermore, even if we don't agree with Chase on this, he's arguing for... See, Rottweiler, this was perfect. It showed up at exactly the right time. Arguing for parental rights for everyone. It goes both ways. If you want parental rights for you, then you have to argue for parental rights for other people. It's actually really fucking simple. Right now, the screenshot, the freeze frame of Jimmy Dore. Jimmy Dore right now is looking at me like he knows he got caught. Jimmy Dore is upset that we've caught him and we fact-checked him. And Jimmy Dore in his head right now in that freeze frame is thinking about all his credibility flying out the window because he didn't bother to do basic fact checks on a video that some crazy bitch decided to fact check on the internet and predicted correctly that Jimmy Dore wasn't going to know what the fuck he was talking about. Realization is setting in on Jimmy Dore's face. In fact, let me take a screenshot of this. I'm gonna post this on Twitter. I'm gonna be like, Jimmy Dore knows I just caught his ass.
are they bringing to it?
Nothing.
To implant a thing in your child's subconscious?
Yes.
Oh, that's right. That's what they're mad about. It's not even, it's way worse than like grooming for like sex in the moment. This is like a societal engineering thing. Where they want to be in your kid's subconscious. Like, Jesus.
I don't know what I don't know what people think they're
but
doing.
It still shouldn't be regulated by the
all
government.
The drag queens I know, which are zero, I know a lot of gay people who know a lot of drag queens, and they've been telling me that the ones I know don't want anything to do with kids. They always made sure kids were nowhere because they never want to be accused of doing this kind of thing.
I don't want to do comedy for kids.
I don't want to do comedy for kids.
Like if I show up at a show and there's kids there, I'm like, what is this legal?
Right?
I better go put on a dress or else I'm breaking the law.
I can't support that. Oh, he's also for chemically castrating children and supports open borders. I can't support
open borders, yes, but as we've already covered 15 ways from Sunday, because Jimmy Dore keeps bringing it up, but doesn't actually investigate it. Over 50% of libertarians, according to Trendelin, support open borders. And Trendelin's on the executive committee of the California Libertarian Party, so she would know. Chase also isn't for pure open borders, so that's another lie. He also doesn't support trans and kids. Another lie. We've already covered all of this. Jimmy Dore is doing exactly what fucking Tim Pool did, and Jimmy Dore is repeating the same lie over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. That's all he's doing. Pretending it's the truth. And this is how the conservative smear campaign works. This is how, when someone does something that upsets the fucking Twitterati, they get all their friends to spread the same smear campaign where they're all saying the same lies at the same time. None of them are smart enough to do any research for themselves. None of them have any integrity to make sure they're telling their millions of people in their audience what the truth actually is. Jimmy Dore gets a text from Dave Smith, and Dave Smith says, "Trust me, bro. Pinky swear, trust me, bro." And Jimmy Dore says, "Okay, bro." And then they all say the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, pretending that it's true. What I would recommend is that you look at Chase Oliver's website. He has an entire section under his platform where he talks about immigration, so you can see his plan directly. He's not for anyone just coming across. He's for background checks, criminal checks, health checks, all that stuff. So he's not just for like opening like the fence and like waving people through. He wants to check if people are like criminals, they have a history, stuff like that.
Support that. It's a non-starter. This is going to be a very bad year for the Libertarian Party candidates, and there's nothing any of us can do about it. The Libertarian Party might as well not even run.
Well,
who in the fuck is going to...
Jimmy, that was actually something that people tried to do, Jimmy. The Mises Caucus, in fact, did try to sabotage the Libertarian Party having any presidential candidate at all. What you don't seem to understand, Jimmy, is that if there is not a national presidential candidate, that massively fucks ballot access for affiliates all over the country, and it has taken a generation to get ballot access in all 50 states all over the country. So you're going to fuck up literally a generation of work just out of spite because Dave Smith is a poor loser. I know you've never worked on a ballot access campaign, Jimmy. I actually have. It's a giant ass. It is a giant fucking pain in the ass that involves weekends for months, standing outside supermarkets, getting signatures on things. It involves paying people money to go door to door to get signatures on things. Thousands of fucking signatures are required for ballot access. It takes a small army months to do in any goddamn state. And you want to throw out the work of all those people just because Dave Smith is having a fucking hissy fit? Go fuck yourself. Chase Oliver won. He won fair and square. He won because he put in the work, and Dave Smith wants to wipe all that out because of his fucking ego. Signature gathering sucks. Monica is right.
Vote for that guy. He sounds like a Democrat who happens to be maybe anti-war.
If you haven't figured out how...
I don't know, Jimmy. Maybe that's because there's a smear campaign being run by Dave Smith and his crony grifter friends to make him sound like a Democrat because they're bitter little bitches and you didn't bother to fact check. Sarah, we have literally been breaking this down, proof like line by fucking line. So please post all your receipts, Sarah. Post them all. Do you really think I'm afraid of you? Do you really think I'm not going to come back with a receipt for every single thing that I'm saying? Bitch, I did this off the top of my head. Literally. You assholes literally used something that was already community noted on Twitter. Every single thing that Jimmy Dore has said about Chase Oliver's position, is completely twisted out of context. I don't expect you to understand that because you are a fucking socialist, probably, if you support Jimmy Dore, so you don't understand any of this at all. But go ahead, bitch. I'm not afraid of you. Post your receipts. Do your worst. I'm shaking. Do you see it? Do you see it? Do you see it? Your boy got caught. Your boy's credibility is flying out the window because he didn't bother to do the basic fact checks that were required when you're going on the fucking internet in front of millions of people. Do you see me shaking, Sarah? Do you see how terrified I am of you? Go do your worst, bitch. We'll see what's what.
He
Shit
sounds
works by
exactly
now.
like a Democrat.
I'm just like, has everybody figured out how shit works yet? What do you need to see to understand how shit works and stop clinging to the hope that no, maybe it's not that bad. It's done. So right now, the last two slave master whatever parties, somebody's making a switch, and it's going to be Reagan times again. Mark my words. It's going to be Trump, and we're going to have some new Reagan thing. And it's going to be just like Miami, but all over, right? Because remember the Mariel boat lift?
Yeah.
And it drove the economy, but boy, it got real chaotic in Miami. Biden did that to the whole United States.
So I've also was reading a thing at Zero Hedge today that said these open borders are another tool to keep inflation down. I don't know how that happens, but that's what I saw the headline at Zero Hedge. I'm going to go and look into it. But this is the guy who's the Libertarian Party. Was Peter Dow advising him?
Look, nobody.
No, Chase. We were being ironic. You got the whole fucking rainbow outfit and everything. We were just fucking with you. He got the whole thing.
Do you know how ridiculous he looks? I think he's not even gay. I think he's.
Oh, Chase Oliver is absolutely gay. 100%. But guess what? Being a libertarian means that you're allowed to dress up in a fruity fucking outfit if you want. Being a libertarian means that if you want to go to a pride event, you're allowed to fucking go. Being a libertarian means that if you want to take a photo with a fucking drag queen because that's what you like to do because you're an adult and you're allowed to do whatever the fuck you want to do, that's fucking okay. Being a libertarian does not mean browbeating other people into not wearing a shirt you don't like, not going to an event you don't like. You know what you do? You say, I'm going to mind my own fucking business. You do what makes you happy. There's nothing wrong with Chase Oliver being gay. There's nothing wrong with him enjoying going to pride events or whatever the fuck else he likes. He's not grooming kids. He's not doing anything to kids. And by the way, one of the most hurtful things in all of this, I'm going to bet for Chase, is the fact that he has been called a pedophile all over the internet because he took a photo with a drag queen. They called him a pedophile all over the internet. As someone who has been called a pedophile when I don't even like kids, I can tell you that it's fucking gross. It's absolutely disgusting. No one should be called that unless there's actual evidence that they've done things with kids. Being gay doesn't make you a fucking pedophile. Being at a pride event doesn't make you a fucking pedophile. Taking a photo with a drag queen doesn't make you a fucking pedophile. Unless they actually have receipts on Chase Oliver actually doing stuff with kids, which I'm going to bet all the money in my bank account they don't fucking have. This is nothing more than a smear campaign because Dave Smith got his panties in a twist because he lost. Yeah, Jimmy Dore is actually saying that being a gay man at a pride event is wrong. And he's also saying it's not libertarian for some reason.
He's not even gay.
I don't think he is gay. But I don't know. I could be wrong.
No, that's like somebody doing a creepy. Who's that creep from Ukraine that was the ambassador that was supposedly trans? But
remember that?
Oh, he's back. He's detransitioned.
Oh,
his name's still Sarah.
Detransitioned?
Well, he never transitioned. He just put on a wig.
He was just cross-dressing?
It's kind of crazy that was even a thing at all. I don't know who that was for.
Whatever happened to cross-dressers, right? When I was a kid, that was a big thing, cross-dressing.
Yeah.
And then they just went away, just like the flu did during COVID. They just went away and they all became trans. It's like, what? I thought there was a thing called cross-dressers.
Well, it's called queer. It's an umbrella term. But anyway, that guy is walking around in Kiev talking about... No, there's
Jimmy Dore's expert co-host thinks that being a cross-dresser is what queer is. Okay. Pop quiz for my chat. What does queer mean? We watch Queer Marxists all the time. We watch Queer Marxist training like at least once a week on this channel. I have hundreds of hours of Queer Marxist training cataloged and analyzed on this YouTube channel. You guys can all go back and watch it. Pop quiz for my chat. What does queer mean? Queer, cross-dressing is not queer, you idiots. Queer is a political ideology, you fucking retards. Yup, Sam, we've reached the 400th circle of retardia. Exactly. Yup. Guys, what is queer? Queer is communist. Queer means socialist, against the norm, against capitalism. Queer is a political ideology. Queer means going against normativity. Normativity means capitalism and the gender binary. It is a cohesive rebellion against the heterosexual capitalist world. That's according to the Mary Nardini gang, which wrote the Queer Marxist Manifesto. Queer is a far-left political ideology. Queer is the opposite of the norm. Queer is a political movement that goes against the norm. Queer is a Marxist political identity, rejection of the normal, the legitimate, the dominant. That's Derek Halpern. Queer is fighting against the capitalism dictated by normativity. Queer means communism. It's against the norm of capitalism. But remember, guys, Jimmy Dore swore on Twitter earlier to his 500,000 followers that he caught me and I had no credibility. Queer means going against the normal, which means Marxism. Yeah. Yeah, you definitely caught me, Jimmy. Definitely, bro. Queer is the breakdown of the normative capitalist modality. Great definition, Kelly. Yeah, I'll look forward to seeing your receipts. Yeah, you caught me. Ooh. Ooh. How dumb is Jimmy Dore's audience? If this person really is a mod for Jimmy Dore, what do you guys think the average IQ for Jimmy Dore's audience is if this person is actually a mod for Jimmy Dore? Do you guys want to take any guesses in the chat? This is why I have a rule on my channel. No one with an IQ of less than 100. It's just the way it goes. It just doesn't work.
Nobody's getting forced into vans to fight the war. Everybody's partying here. Kev's great. See?
So this is
hang on, super chat. Queer is the winning tactic to win people over. No, I mean, queer is a political ideology that's meant to abolish the gender binary and the nuclear family, which is an attack on capitalism, really, but it's not about winning people over, really. Yeah, see, this is what I think. Jimmy Dore's audience probably has roundabout an average of a 78 IQ. I mean, that's really the only way that they could consider this a reliable source of information. Sin says 60. Monica says maybe about 80. Room temperature. Yeah, I think that's all about right. Well, Sarah's so much smarter than us. Sarah can just figure out how to get us the links, okay? She doesn't need to have... I don't need to change the settings on the chat to allow Sarah to put them in the chat. Sarah thinks she's much smarter than us, guys, so Sarah can just work that out on her own.
This has got to be a heartbreaker for the Mises caucus. This has got to be.
Exactly why they're engaging in a smear
campaign.
Campaign.
Can't beat the lizard people. Sorry.
He's a Democrat.
Jimmy, Democrats don't want to abolish the Department of Education. Democrats don't want to end funding for all foreign wars. Democrats don't want to end qualified immunity. Democrats don't want to do a lot of the things that Chase Oliver wants. And the Democrats don't want to end the Fed. Democrats don't want to do any of this stuff, Jimmy. So what is your evidence that Chase Oliver is a Democrat? That he wore a rainbow shirt at a Pride event? Really? Is that all it takes for you? That's your level of evidence, bro? That's disappointing.
That's what that guy is.
I mean, he's probably
he's for open
look how
border.
fed. I mean, just it's like when you see that fake racist group, Patriot Front. This looks like a Fed trying to be gay. It looks like a Mormon Fed
trying to be
undercover with the gays.
That's what it does look like.
Look at the hair and the
it does
weird
look like
smile,
that.
and you're like,
Jimmy, Democrats don't want to repeal gun regulations, Jimmy. Chase Oliver does. Exactly. Jimmy Dore thinks that it's that libertarians don't believe in allowing people to wear whatever clothes they want to go to whatever events they want to go to, which is a little funny because I have been to PorcFest, and I'll tell you, people wear some interesting clothes at PorcFest. Sometimes they wear no clothes at all. Sometimes they wear little loincloths and things, and I don't have anything else to say about that right now. Corn Pop, he's not against gays. He's against them having to fly their colors to get approval. Maybe that. Dore is against gays. Looks better in the headline. I mean, I actually don't really care what Jimmy Dore thinks about the gays. What I would like Jimmy Dore to acknowledge is that a basic libertarian philosophy is that adults should be able to do whatever the fuck they want as long as they're not hurting anyone. And that includes wearing a rainbow shirt or not wearing a rainbow shirt. That includes going to a pride event or not going to a pride event. That includes taking a photo with a drag queen or not taking a photo with a drag queen. If you guys know who Star Child is, Star Child has some outfits. I've seen Star Child's outfits. Star Child has some outfits, okay? Star Child, libertarian, been around a long time. Vermin Supreme, literally, Vermin Supreme's a socialist, just so we're clear. But Vermin Supreme literally wears a boot on his head. And you're telling me that wearing a boot on your head is more acceptable than wearing a rainbow shirt at a pride event? You might not want to go to the pride event, Jimmy. That's fine. No one has to go under libertarian philosophy, but Chase Oliver is actually allowed to go to the pride event.
And you, like, just this, without seeing body language, just a picture, you're like, something's way the fuck off here, right? And if I was a gay guy cruising at this party, I would feel that. I mean, I would hope you would feel it.
Again, we're 100% pro LGBTQ.
Jimmy, libertarians are allowed to be whatever they want to be. That's the whole fucking point. Yes, the new libertarian philosophy, according to Jimmy Dore and Dave Smith and Clint Russell and Josie, the redheaded MAGA grifter, is that apparently you can do whatever you want as long as you don't go against conservative values. That's a good summary of what seems to be Jimmy Dore's position.
We're pro-trans.
I would say
We're
put it under one letter.
And I am pro. Well, that's my act, baby.
Yeah.
And I'm pro drag queens. I'm pro drag shows, 100%. But it's just like, it's like the joke I used to have about Hooters. Because there was a Hooters one time right outside of the comedy club I was playing, and there would be a line of people to get in. And one time I saw a guy with his son. He was like 9 or 10. I couldn't tell how old he was by the size of his erection. And come on, folks, these are the jokes.
Hooters, the working man's Bohemian Grove. The owl of the working
First
man.
of all, I never understood the Hooters.
Hooters is as gross.
Hooters is so tame.
Right.
You go to a Hooters.
Do you know that Vermin once tweeted that he had less baggage than I do? I was like, Vermin, come on, man. Come on. Nice try, bro, but you're a commie.
They're wearing like those orange shorts aren't even attractive.
No, I know.
They don't really the way they're cut or whatever, they don't really flatter them. And
it's bizarre,
and most of the women there don't have big Hooters.
Yeah, well, that's probably because of inflation.
Is anyone forcing you to go to the Pride event? Are you one of those old women that you go to the Pride event because you're pissed off and you just want to get something on film that you can post on the internet to be outraged on the internet? Did anyone force you to go? Did anyone force you to bring kids to a Pride event? I don't think kids should be brought anywhere near a Pride event. I think that's a really bad idea. But the fact of the matter is that yes, wearing whatever the fuck you want does include S&M attire and a dog mask at a publicly sanctioned Pride event. It does. I'm sorry. Guess what? You don't have to go. You don't have to bring your kids. In fact, if you're going to be all pissy about it on the internet, you probably shouldn't go. And you definitely shouldn't bring your kids. But if you're going to bring your kids to a Pride event, don't get all fucking pissy because you see things that you would expect to find at a fucking Pride event. That's your fault. You went to an event that you literally just went to be outraged. Just stay home.
It's just like girls in athletic wear serving you chicken wings.
Hey, it's like you get a bag of chips and half of the bag's air, you know?
Yeah. Anyway, this again, of course, the 1 year a third party, something could happen with a third party. And we get Cornel West, who sounds just like this guy. And we get this guy who sounds just like this guy.
They both out of the game.
And Jill Stein, who has
Yes.
been completely co-opted. So so now she's allowed to say what she wants to say about Palestine. But believe me, her appointing Peter Dow, which is why she won't come back on the show. She came on the show all the time. She couldn't stop DMing me. She wouldn't stop reaching out to me all the time. And then as soon as Cornell decided to run with the Greens, she froze me out.
Well, if you recall, she had to convince him to run.
Because
Remember? He didn't want to run and she had to talk him into it. Remember we played this? Her talking about it?
Oh, really?
Yes. You don't remember that?
She doesn't want to answer any question.
Oh, they're upset. Oh, the Jimmy Dore grifter fans they're upset because I'm going to AFPAC. Yeah, I'm going to, you know what? Guess what? Being a libertarian means that I'm allowed to go to whatever fucking event I want. And if I want to go to an event with Nick Fuentes, because Nick Fuentes and his team extended me an invitation and said, Carlin, we'll even buy you dinner at the event. I'm going to say, thank you, Nick. I would like to come to your event and hear what you have to say. Because unlike Jimmy Dore, I actually believe in going to the primary source when it comes to information. I could sit back and wait for other people to tell me what happens at AFPAC, or I could just accept the invitation that Nick Fuentes generously offered me and go see for myself. And there ain't shit you can do about it, Sarah. Being a libertarian means I get to do whatever the fuck I want as long as I'm not hurting anyone else. And guess what? Me flying to Detroit to go sit in some hotel ballroom somewhere where we're going to be served a dinner and listening to speeches, I'm actually allowed to do that. You might want to use the federal government to restrict all speech that you don't like, but I actually don't want to use the federal government to restrict any speech that I don't like, and that includes Nick Fuentes, and that includes any of the assholes that might be speaking at that event, most of whom I actually don't agree with. But unlike you, and unlike Jimmy Dore, and unlike any of these other people, I am allowed to go and listen to whatever ideas I want to listen to, and I will decide for myself what I think. Yes, exactly. Instead of posting anything substantive, they just go, "You're a Nazi!" Boogaloo Boy was on the Dore show. You give him props for that. Yeah, remember, Jimmy Dore is going to play by different rules than I'm allowed to play by because he's Jimmy Dore on the internet, guys.
So,
about it.
Cornell didn't want to run
because she
ever.
lied about it. She lied about all of it.
Yeah, he has to run. So that's why he was trying to lose. You were cocking it up for him. She pushed him into that for whatever reason. I don't know what they got on her, but just so
They
you
got
know,
something on her.
nobody got to anywhere unless they did something real bad on camera. And if they can't make you do that, you're out. You're done. You're not going to top.
I heard they're threatening
True.
Jill Stein.
I do
with
not endorse Zionism.
prosecuting her over campaign finance.
Well, good. Then they know
They
it's
got
not
her.
something with kids, at least.
Yeah,
At least you know it's some bullshit, not something with kids.
but the Green Party turned into, just like not just like, but similar. They turned into more of an LGBTQ organization, which is again infiltration. They're supposed to be a Green Party. Anyway, it's just look at the Green Party over in Europe, is it Germany? They're the most pro-war maniacs. They know how to get in, infiltrate, divide and conquer.
Yeah, that's what all the feminists learned the hard way when
Yeah.
that movement got in. And
Yeah.
now all of a sudden there's what is it? A turf? I remember the big man hate years.
Yeah, turf to
And I watch all the turfs get kicked out of their own thing.
trans exclusionary radical feminists. That's what a turf is, right?
You let them into your own movement.
You'd come see me on tour in Rutherford, New Jersey, Minneapolis.
And there we have it, guys. There we have it. The great Jimmy Dore said that he caught me. The great Jimmy Dore said that I had no credibility. Well, guess what? I just spent 2 hours meticulously fact-checking every single part of this video. And you know what the most damning part was? Let's find it. Not that one. That one. The most damning part of this video. Sarah, are you paying attention, girl? You paying attention? Now, Jimmy Dore got basically everything wrong about Chase Oliver that he said, but we're going to focus on this. Jimmy Dore used this screenshot as evidence that Chase Oliver is in favor of transing kids. The problem is that Jimmy Dore didn't bother to do a basic fact check on this video. And had Jimmy Dore looked at Tim Pool's tweet with that same image that had over 338,000 views, Tim Pool tweeted exactly the same thing. This is the same screenshot that Jimmy Dore used in his show. And it got community noted on Twitter. None of the screenshots are of Chase Oliver's stances, but are from a website which any user can edit. Many of the screenshots go against things he has said. His actual stances are available at votechaseoliver.com/platform. So Jimmy Dore literally used evidence in his video that had already been proven false by a Twitter community note. But remember, guys, Jimmy Dore caught me. I'm the one with no credibility. According to Jimmy Dore, I'm just a liar on the internet. I don't know what I'm talking about. I was just starting shit with him for attention. It's not like Jimmy Dore was the one that replied to me and then demanded that I offer him information that I hadn't actually done yet, because I knew exactly what Jimmy Dore was going to say in this video, because anyone with like a anyone with like a, above average IQ can pretty much ascertain what's going to go on in any of these videos. It's not actually that hard. But Jimmy Dore responded to me saying, "You are a liar and you've been caught and you have no credibility," when Jimmy Dore is the one that got caught using screenshots in his video that had already been community noted on Twitter. The receipts the Dore team has are from lying conservatives on Twitter. Every receipt that Jimmy Dore showed, from Dave Smith shilling for Donald Trump to Josie, the redheaded MAGA grifter who has been crying all fucking day on Twitter and blocking everyone and insulting everyone and spreading smear campaigns, from Wall Street Civ, who I'm pretty sure is Jewish, I'm just saying, but also Trump supporter, so he would not have any vested interest in lying at all. But again, I just think it's an egregious failure on the part of Jimmy Dore that he used information that had already been publicly fact-checked. We will all see if Jimmy Dore does the right thing and retracts his statements about me. I'm going to guess not, but I guess we'll see. I'm going to go make a clip of the Jimmy Dore epic fact-check takedown of this one thing now. And it is 1:30 in the morning, and I have no voice left. I can barely talk. And that kind of sucks. But that's okay. I'm going to log off for the night. Thank you guys for hanging out. I appreciate all of you. If you appreciate the fact check, please mount the like button for me. And please let Jimmy Dore know on Twitter that he can go fuck himself if he thinks he caught me in any lie. And perhaps he should have better looked into who I am and what I do before he ran his mouth on Twitter. That's all. Night, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.